So I think we don't have everybody sign up for the podcast project yet. So if you have any questions about the podcast, let me know, okay? And on the syllabus, I have my cell phone. So if you need to Zoom me out of the office hour, text me when you can Zoom with your computer. The reason for that is because when you use your phone and when you share screen, I cannot see it. Okay, I'm getting old. So I need you guys to use bigger screen to share so I can see the screen. Okay, so today we are going to talk about a little bit of the small family-run business. And I don't know how many of you or somebody text, let me check. I think, let me see how many podcasts. How about 5? Okay, 5, just 5 people's comment on 5 different posts. Does it show? Okay, so at least 5. But of course, if you comment more and it's constructive comment, then I will consider give you extra points. So I'm very generous in some way. So so the family-owned business. Around 90% of the U.S. companies are family-owned. Okay, even for some big corporations, they started as a family business, like Walmart. Okay, they started as a family business. So but when we have family business, sometimes I don't know if you guys have experienced that, like in a let me set it up like when they enter, they will mute. So okay. So when we run business, like if you work in a place full time, and then when you are home, you still have to face the same person. Sometimes it might bring some kind of, tension or conflict, okay? Especially for like couples or, parents and kids, okay? So sometimes that's something that we have to be very careful about. But in the very beginning, when we run business, families are our first help, right? So a lot of times we get support from families. Somehow when the business, kind of grow, it would become a little bit more difficult. So that's something that we are going to just kind of go over today. And one thing that you guys, need to understand is, I think a lot of you guys probably already start your own business. Do you have your own business? So a lot of people already kind of start their business when they were very young. Like I know, like a friend of mine, his kid is good at drawing, art design. So she started to sell t-shirts that she designed online when she was in high school. Okay, so when you are doing the business like that, or a lot of YouTuber, like even for kids, like my daughter, when she was little, she used to follow these kids opening the toys. What is the toys name? Shopkins. The Shopkins. So she loved to follow the YouTubers that open Shopkins. Yeah, and I remember we used to buy a lot of Shopkins, and now it's all gone. She just threw it like, when I asked her to clean her room, she just threw it like it's nothing. it's all my blood, sweat and blood, the shopping. So, so when you do business like that, actually it's 24/7. Okay, you have to, make sure you help. Like if there's some issue, you have to, handle it. I did. I kind of have some kind of side business, very small side business in Taiwan. So, and then we have time difference. So during the pandemic, I started that because I thought, we work from home, it's kind of bored to always stay home. So I started to do business with Taiwan, and thanks to the technology, I was able to Zoom with friends and families, try to sell them some product. Okay, but the thing is that sometimes you do get text, like I get text in the middle of the night. And then I would some people, they can they will wait, but me, if I got waken up by the ringtone, or if I forgot to turn off the phone, I will try to answer the question right away, because otherwise I will forget. So it's very time consuming, and it's very demanding. So well, that's why it's difficult. And a lot of young people go into the business for themselves, or they ask their parents to fund their ventures, okay? Or, grandparents, stuff like that. And then also a lot of couples that do business together. So it's, and we will start calling the couple doing business together co-partnership, okay, co-partnership. So for co-partnership, a lot of times the tensions start from there, okay? So like I remember right after college, I worked for a company where the husband is the boss, and the boss, the owner of the company, he is in charge of marketing, like he wants to do a lot of sales. So, and I'm part of the sales team. So I'm part of the sales, I want to say sales team. So I'm part of the sales. And he will be very nice to the sales because he thinks sales bring business. And his wife is in charge of accounting department. So the accounting people, they don't like sales. They think we just get a lot of sales. Sometimes the client we got didn't, wasn't even able to pay. So they think that we still need to screen our client. And for us, we think that accounting, their job is try to collect debt. So they should just do their best. And our job is to get orders. So we always kind of had not really like direct argument, but it's just like secret competition. And yeah, and the owner's wife, she always she would try to do something to treat the sales not as good as the accounting people. Yeah, so they always they sometimes fight, So it's just difficult when you have the co-partnership. And but she is really good, the wife, even though she is not nice to the sales, but she's really sensitive to the numbers. And then somehow she's really good with the accounting part. So, so you make sure your spouse take the role that he or she feels best. But sometimes you can also, kind of train each other to do different jobs. And then you have to always make sure you set aside some personal time. My boss, he always worked, even during Chinese New Year. He will go to the company and then just work. And yeah. So for the co-partnership, they should consider, don't hold grudges, when they have some disagreement in work, make sure they make it stay in work. But like I said, it's easier said than done, because now I'm not really part of that. So it's easier for me to say. I remember when we started the business, my brother is also our partners. Like we started a company in Taiwan with my brother and then two of my college friends. And when we have Zoom meeting, my brother and I always fought. Like he'd be like, "What are you talking about?" I said, your number is off. And he said, "Come on, just use your brain again, So we talk really harsh to each other. And then my friend would text me like, "Are you guys okay?" I said, "Yeah, we talk just like that." But that's the thing. It's easier say. So sometimes it just, when you work with your family or close friends, you will have arguments. But you need to make major decision after you talk to your spouse or your partners, okay? And don't start a business unless your personal relationship is already strong. So, so like the case with me and my brother. So even though we fight a lot, okay, and then we really, when we talk, we really sound mean, but well, okay, like after we talk, that's it, like flip another page and move on. So yeah. So making the business with your spouse, don't be blinded by romance, follow the rules. Okay, like I always say, it's easier said than done. Okay, and you have to make sure you define each person's role and make sure you use everybody's talent. Like with my friend and my brother, we also kind of said that, because when we were young, when my friend were young, like right after college, she also started a business with her boyfriend, and it didn't end up well. So she ended up breaking up with the boyfriend, and now she married another guy that she felt she didn't really love that much, as the boyfriend, but she, I mean, it's just because I think because they had business together, and they just didn't like set the rule beforehand. So this time she said, "Oh, we should set the rule," even though we are very close. Like I actually she managed my bank account in Taiwan. So I trusted her like 100%. Yeah, so we are very close, and she knows everything about me. So my darkest secret and stuff. Yeah, but even that, she said, "Oh, even though we are very close, I think we should set the rule." And I agree with her. So, so you have to set the rules and be clear and specific about your expectation with you and your partner. And then make sure you have some family time, and then make sure you stick with it. Don't make like the excuse like, "Oh, we're too busy now," and then, let's just skip this time. But if you do that, it would be keep doing that. And then we have to set up a system for recognizing and rewarding the hard work. So we also we set up some kind of goal, like if we reach certain goal for sales, like for us, what we like is to travel. So we said like, "Oh, if we reach some certain goal for the sales, we're going somewhere to travel, luxury, to celebrate." So basically, our goal to start a business is not to like be rich, is to spend the money. So yeah, so we just want to, we just want to travel in a luxury way. Yeah, so that's why we started a business. But the good thing is that my brother, he is more rational. So sometimes he would remind us like, "We just started this, we should like keep some of the funding and not spend it, and then keep moving." So that's good that he's rational. Otherwise, my friend and I, we were like crazy. And so usually in a small company, the business is controlled by one or few family members. And so the other, like I mentioned in the beginning, when you start a business, when you try to ask for help, usually you find someone closer to you. So usually it's some family members. But sometimes the family members, it's difficult to handle later on, because if you don't set the rules, it's just like they don't follow rules. You know, like my father and my uncle, they used to run a construction company together. And my uncle, my father, they both are co-owners, but my father at that time was the mayor of the town. So he didn't really do business. All he did was like use his connection to kind of let them know what kind of project would be, would be starting, stuff like that. And my uncle, he is more like in the business. But the thing is that they have bookkeeping, and then they have cashier. And when he forced, like sometimes he would ask the company to give him money to do personal use. So that's how the business was in trouble, because he started to get money from the company, and he doesn't have the sense of the ownership. Like he is one of the owner, okay, but he doesn't really own the company 100%. But he thought he could do everything, so he did separate the personal finance with the company finance, and then he got the company into trouble. And then later on, they just couldn't, they didn't have enough cash. They have very good business, but they didn't collect the payment from the account receivable from the client, and then they owe money to other people, so they just went bankrupt. Okay, so because of that, there are conflicts, because there are some other shareholders from the family, even though they were not that powerful, they didn't really have the control over the company, but they still have the shares. So when the company went bankrupt, they had we had really bad conflict. Even till today, it's my father's uncle. I don't know how you call that in English. My father's uncle, should I call grand uncle? Yeah, so my father's uncle.
Great uncle or something.
Yeah, like great uncle, or yeah. So my father's uncle, he's the same age as my father, because my great grandma have a lot of kids, and then when she have that uncle was the youngest kid of hers. So when she had the youngest kid, my grandpa already had my dad, so they are in the same age. So they were like he putting money as well, and then the company went bankrupt. So he keep asking my dad to pay him, but actually it's owned by everybody, right? In theory, if the company went bankrupt, that's your investment. You just lost your money. But he keep asking my dad to pay him back whatever he put in the company. Yeah. So my dad pay him like once a while, but I came here on scholarship the first several years ago. So they thought my dad was hiding money to send me here. Yeah. So he actually went to my house and then hit my dad. Yeah, so it's really bad. And it was really bad. And then my dad called police. So see, I'm sharing a lot of family drama here. But it's just this chapter, this class remind me a lot of stuff from before. Yeah. So that was a long time ago. Yeah, so the compensation on family members are like difficult, like my grand uncle. He thought, like the investment is 100% guarantee, so he tried to ask the money back. But so you have to like base the compensation on the performance, not the position. Yeah. So my uncle, he just paid himself too much. Like they didn't really have the system to pay him. They have the system to pay drivers because they have the concrete truck. So they pay drivers, but I don't think they actually set a salary for the general manager or something. Yeah, he just basically whatever he need to socialize with the client. When in Taiwan, when people socialize, they go to bars or they go to prostitute house. So yeah, yeah. So he spent a lot of money. It's it shouldn't. It's actually shouldn't be it shouldn't be. How do you cannot be reimbursed for that kind of dinner. Yeah, but he did. He forced the cashier to give him money. So that's what happened. And then the fringe benefit is like some of the extra benefit, and so you can use it as a financial reward, and then but you need to still like we mentioned, you have to set the rule. So the title is also important. So like my dad didn't have a title. He just like because he at the time he was the politician, so he's not supposed to be involved. Yeah. So the family limitation, the lines of authority, responsibility has to be clear. Like in my family's case, it wasn't clear, and you should separate those from the family circle. And the number of the competent family members are limited. Okay, so that's also the case. At that time, my brother and I, we were still young, and my older brother is never interested in business, and my younger brother was still young. He was still in college. So my sister is a vet. So and then my sister is horrible with numbers. So, but she's a good vet. And so sometimes some families they make their business into corporations. Next time we will talk about different forms of companies, and they will hire professional managers. And that's actually good if they have the rules set up, and then they kind of set up like if it's owned by the family, how are you going to split the bonus and stuff like that? Then it's actually good to hire a professional manager to manage the company. And so they actually help with the conflict, and then you can make it more, you can make the operations more standardized. So the disadvantage for using a family is, you might have lower income and reduce family employment. And because if you work somewhere else, you might get paid a little bit more. Yeah. And it might be difficult to find a good management team if you use the family family members, and then you might have, how do you call that? You might have the package, no, is it a package? Like the burden to listen to the family members. So you might not be able to do whatever you want to show you are able to manage the company. So you might lose the personal touch. And then in the companies, you never allow a child to work in the senior management until actually they work somewhere else. And you want to rotate the person in different positions to learn about the business, and only give promotion when they earn it. And then make sure you also do the training and teaching every day. don't take the business matters home. It's very difficult, that I know. Yeah, so, but that will help if you guys want to start a business with families, okay? And to avoid the succession problems, they should plan early for the replacement. So basically, you can ask those kind of questions to see whether or not there's a possibility to have your kids or spouse to take over the company. Okay, so you ask those kind of questions and then, do different things and then make sure you train them enough. And they will take over. So I think this is a very good chart. Yeah. Or you can sell your company to some other family members. So the business stay in the family, and they will still provide some kind of employment for the family member. And the family statute is maintained, and the previous owner, they can, it's in my case, they're free to relax or travel. So they don't need to worry about the company, but it's still in the family's hand. When successor is successful, then, you'll be happy that, oh, the family, this is still there and it's growing. So, and sometimes it can strengthen the family bond, then producing the friction. So it depends. Like if they sell to some other family members and then hire some professional managers when the business grows, it's good. And then estate planning, this actually works for not just small business owner, but everybody. So basically, you prepare the transfer to owner's equity when if the owner died. And we can also do that, for our property, to prepare that. So the asset planning, they can reduce the need for beneficiary to withdraw fund, and then maintain the beneficiary's interest in keeping funds in the company, and then they will provide a smooth transition. So they have like different insurance policy that company could use to help with this. And sometimes we have the family limited partnership, so that would allow the owners to pass assets to their heirs, and with the very minimum income or estate tax. Some states don't even have the estate tax, so we can kind of look it up if there's something you concern. That's why a lot of company move to North Dakota, South Dakota, or I think, is it Texas? Delaware doesn't have the estate tax, and then I think North Dakota as well. So you can still remain in control, and then you can gradually transfer your asset. Buy-sell agreement. So you can provide for the corporation to buy back the shareholder stock when he or she leaves the company or pass away. So it has different ways that you can do the buy-sell agreement, and then this is just some of the RS code, and then to say, oh, what's the limitation, and then what can you do, what's the benefit, and then the benefit to the owners, the surviving owners. So this is the buy-sell agreement. And then some other issues for the estate planning, a lot of times we try to minimize the taxes, because it's extra spending that you have to come out with, cash, you have to pay cash. And then you want to make sure you retain the control of the business. and maintain the flexibility of the operations. So that's some of the things we want to make sure. If one owner passed away, the company can still operate. So the several techniques, we can use the family gift or the partnership or sell the stock to other family members or living trust. Okay, so these are some of the techniques that a company can use. So the living trust is will. So they'll provide some, they will provide like like give you certain amount of time, like periodical, okay? So, yeah, so basically, it depends on like how much money you think this person will need, and then yeah, just that to support the survivors' living expense. Oh, so that's it for chapter 2. Any questions? Yeah, so basically, so this is the family business, that some issues we will face, and then some of the concern we might have. I feel it's probably too early to tell you guys this, you guys are still very young. That's something, I started to worry, like to do the estate planning. But I think at the age, like even that before you have kids, that's not something you will be concerned. But just have that knowledge, and then maybe one day you will remember, oh, this is something I have to do. So like I mentioned, well, I posted on D2L. I think I'm going to try to do this like every other week, personal, but we'll see. If it's just one person coming to class, I don't think it's, yeah. But is it okay with you?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so on Monday, on Wednesday, I'll still be here, and I'll see how many people is coming. So next Monday, Valentine's Day, just online, okay? So you don't have to come here, and I'll post it. So, no more questions? Then, guess that's for today. See you guys.
I have a question.
Okay. Go ahead.
So like you for the podcast you have to do like you have to comment on people's podcasts. How would you like go to that?
What do you mean?
Like, because you're supposed to comment on other people's podcasts, right?
Yeah,
Discussions.
yeah, so just comment.
You go to discussions on D2L, and there should be like threads that you can answer from on there.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry, I don't really see the screen you guys see, so I wasn't sure. I thought I set it up wrong. That's why I was like, what? So yeah, so comment on like 5, at least 5, if you comment more, but don't comment something like, oh, I agree, great, and nice, say something a little more like, oh, for example, oh, like I asked you guys what you like to eat from the menu that I posted. You say, oh, it looks like I like this thing because it looks like, it looks like it might taste good, or you like certain other food and it looks similar to the food you like. So yeah. I went to a friend's house over weekend. They made, guess what I made? They made the lamb's head. Lamb's head with the skull and eyes. They put it in a big pot and then stew it. Yeah. So I didn't eat it. And then I just realized it's like a traditional Norwegian dish, and they only eat it like for Christmas, like their Christmas thing. So. Okay, so if nothing, then I'll let you guys go. Okay. Have a great week. See you on Wednesday.
Thank you, Professor.
No problem.